Hey guys, it's Bob with JohnyTechReview, and I hope you guys are all doing well. Roughly about 2 months ago, this company here called DeerDance reached out to me and asked me if I would like to try some of their product. They have a few different light strip product. One of them was interesting for me, and that was for the TV, and it was one of those that has the HDMI version where you connect to an HDMI device and it can analyze the video signal and produce some really nice light sync, right? So this is similar to Philips Hues or the Goovy light strip. From my perspective, I actually have no experience on using those. My brothers have some, and I tried his Goovy light before, but his is also the camera-based version, not the HDMI version. So I have an idea what it does, and I see a lot of video and reviews, but from my perspective as a user, this will be my first input or journey into this. I asked for this version, however, they also sent me the camera version by accident. I was like, okay, well, I'll use both of them on 2 different TV and kind of give you an idea of what they feel like. Installation process for both is pretty simple. So the light strip themselves has 3M adhesive tape, and on top of that, they give you a lot of these little anchor where you can kind of hook the light into to kind of give additional support. For the Bluetooth version, since it doesn't have a cut up or connecting corner, you just have to bend the light, where the HDMI version was well designed, and this works pretty well. Both version install similarly, but the camera version of course has the camera where you have to mount on top. So here is the camera version mounted on my 65-inch Sony TV, another TV in my different room, and there's a camera as you can see, and at the bottom here you have adjustment that you can make to adjust to the right size TV. In my experience, this is a 65 like I say. I actually mounted a little bit further out because the clamp here doesn't work really that well up top. When it clamped to this thin TV here, it kept running into issues. It kept falling over, so what I ended up doing is actually not using that clamp, and I just used double-sided tape and just kind of have it lean here. Then, because I'm further back, I also use 70-inch instead of 65-inch. The next section up, there's a little click that goes into different sections. So in this regard, it actually does a good job of actually grabbing the signal from this TV. So first of all, from a packaging perspective, no, not much information here, just a box with some information here. As you can see, it has an app. It used the 2-year app, so this one used the 2-year platform. The Bluetooth version does not. The Bluetooth version has its own little app, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But my focus is really on this guy. It comes with a user manual, and it comes with a row of a LED strip, and it has a connector in the corner, so it's actually divided into 4 different sections, and there's instruction on how to install those on the back of your TV. I put this on my main TV downstairs in the living room, where there's a lot of light during the day, and at night it's pretty dark, so it's pretty good. And it's also where we do a lot of general TV watching, sometimes movies, sometimes music, etc. right? So this setup here, I was wondering how good it's gonna work. For that TV is a Sony TV with a much older TV, and in that setup I actually have a use case where I can plug the Roku stick output directly into this box, and then this box into the TV. And that's how these things are generally set up. So if you're considering buying the HDMI version, keep that in mind. If you're using your TV viewing app, for the most part you're not going to get those signal outputs, so therefore you won't be able to use those type of HDMI box. So a lot of time you have to go with another version, like the camera-based version, where it's looking at your screen and determining what kind of pictures on your screen in order to sync. That brings me to the other version, which is the camera-based version, which was the one that they accidentally sent me. I'm not a huge fan of that one. I'll talk about that in a minute here, but this is basically the experience of me using both. So if you don't want to watch the rest of the video, this is what I can tell you. This version here for about $50 is worth it for the HDMI version, and the Bluetooth and camera-based version is crappy, and don't get it unless you just enjoy having static light. The long story version is that this version here, at the price, is pretty good. But the app is really limited, and I'll show that in a minute. If you're looking at Goovy, you're looking at Philips and a few other brands, the camera-based version for those is already $100. So the HDMI box for those are $150 to $250, $300. So that kind of gives you an idea. So if you're looking for an HDMI version that can do the syncing via HDMI signal, this is worth considering, and I'll go into a little bit of detail to show you guys that. For the camera-based version, it's crappy because for the simple reason, the LED light strip itself, I believe, can have individual color and be addressable, but the controller is really bad. The software works fine, you can connect it very quickly and it will sync immediately, but using a camera-based system is not very accurate, and the biggest problem is not even that. The biggest problem is all the light will read exactly the same color. So regardless of how is whatever picture is seen, it will show exactly the same exact color in the back. It will change to various different color, but it does not do a really good job, and it's can be very distracting. So normally I would use that setting and set it to very low sensitivity, or just set it to a preset color that I like and enjoy. For the light strip version, the software is using the Tuya platform software. So you know, they're implementing another company software, and what's cool about Tuya Smart Light app is that I use this already on a lot of other devices at home for smart switch and stuff like that. So I'm kind of familiar with it, and in this software you have the ability to make changes to individual section of it. You can have specific lighting style, but at the same time you have this option where you can sync up with the TV. Here I have an issues where I contact the company and they're not sure what it is, but for me, if I go to the smart sync option, I can click the sync button, and supposedly, according to a lot of the videos, it should sync and end and then be good. From my perspective, it's just stuck in this sync mode and it doesn't do anything else. And it just kind of stuck there, but the app just kind of hang there and you can go back and do other things. But from a usability perspective, it works perfectly fine. I can adjust the border where it's you know, analyzing the video signal, and it's actually syncing really well. You can see to my various different example here that it works really well for that purpose, and I think this version is day and night different from the camera version. Some of the really standout features of this version is that the light strips are sectioned into 4 different part of the TV. I have a 70-inch TV here, and it fitted pretty well. And on top of that, you can see here in this video that the colors are really good, and it also separate by section based on the video signal, where the Bluetooth version doesn't do that. So improvement, I would say on the Bluetooth version, I think what they can do better here is that design a better app. The app has misspelling error. The controller could be also better. Perhaps that's where the issues are, or maybe it's the app, I'm not sure, but I just know that the light need to be individually addressed, and they need to separate and process different part of the screen, not just all the same exact color. I would skip this one unless you are happy with just having all in the background matching the same color, or just like to have backlit color. That's also what I was using before, just a solid LED light with different colors that I could adjust to Bluetooth. This one can do that well. On the HDMI strip version, again, I think the app here, the Tuya app, could be some improvement. I don't know if it's the Tuya cell that need to fix this, but there was some spelling error. The syncing seemed to just get stuck even though it works. And when you're in that syncing mode, you can't do anything else. And unlike the Goofy app, which I have for many other of my smart light strip, the Goofy app is really good, has a lot of user-defined, and you can download from online, where the DeerDance don't have a lot of those options. So I hope the company will take this feedback, produce a better version for the Bluetooth version, and then for the HDMI version, improve the app a little bit to provide a bit more feedback, user functionality, that type of thing. They can learn a lot from some of the other companies that are doing this type of thing. Again, you're looking at a very budget option, but if you're just looking for HDMI syncing to pictures, this work well, and it's a fraction of the price, so I think it's worth it if you're considering something a little bit cheap like this. And because when you set it up, you're not going to mess with it anyway, right? Unless you just want to constantly tinker with it. I think this is pretty good. Guys, I hope you guys enjoy this short little review on these product from DeerDance. Thanks DeerDance again for sending me this unit file for me to take a look at it. If you guys like this type of video, please give it a thumb up. Ask me any question you have in the comment box down below, and please subscribe for more future content. Thank you.